Do this. Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. We're going to talk today about 5 ways that you can become rich without investing in real estate. This is based off of a Yahoo Finance story, and I'm going to go through it, but I'm going to add a lot of my experience in the past. I've been a investor since the year 2001 in not only real estate, but I became an accredited investor when I was 26 years old so that I could invest in natural gas and oil exploration. I have invested in many different types of assets, everything from stocks to cryptocurrency. I've had both flip properties, residential real estate, cash flowing properties, a portfolio of those. I sold all of those in 2006 before the crash because I saw that coming. And the reason why I think this story is very important to go over is because so many people are intimidated by real estate. I still stand behind the fact that I believe that wealth accumulation is so much easier when you're investing in real estate, because not only are you dealing with cash flow, but you're dealing with amazing opportunities for tax deferment or tax free sort of lifestyle, right? Legal tax loopholes. But let's discuss the things that don't have to do with real estate and how to get wealthy. And I think that a lot of people get led astray by the media when it comes to wealth preservation and wealth creation. Now, with that being said, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial expert. I'm an investor. I have made my money, and by the term credit investor, I had to be worth at least $1 million when I was 26 years old. I did that through real estate, but I started before that with side hustles. So we're going to talk about that, okay? All right, now again, this is out of Yahoo Finance. It's entitled 5 Top Ways to Become Rich Without Investing in Real Estate, and I think it's very important for this day and age. And hey, real quick, I'm going to put a big discount link to my How to Start a Side Hustle course. It will be $199, which is 80% off, and that takes you from start of how to have a garage sale to raise money for your side hustle, all the way to how to start a corporation or an LLC. All right. So it says here, if homeownership sounds like a hassle, then your version of the American dream, you aren't alone. Many people don't want to invest in real estate, and others may not be able to afford to. Owning a house is expensive, from property taxes and homeowners insurance to maintenance. It all requires money. Just, that's all about to get flipped on upside down in something greater than what we experienced in 2008. But that's not today's video. All right. So let's talk about number one. Number one, they're saying way to get rich without a real estate is to put money in 401ks and IRAs. Now, a lot of this becomes alluring for 2 reasons. Putting money in 401k and IRAs is that you get to hopefully make or save money a couple different ways. One, depending on what type of vehicle you chose, you get to take a tax benefit, right? If you invest in certain vehicles in the stock market, whether it be an IRA, an IRA, you get to actually put that money in pre-taxed. And I think that's really neat. But by and large, I am really big on investing in myself. The other way that people like to make money, or they believe they're going to make money in a 401k or an IRA, is the ability to have appreciation, right? The stocks go up. They always go up, right? No, they don't. That is not the truth. See, if you would have invested $10,000 in, let's say, a Dow Jones fund in prior to the dot-com crash, let's say the year early 2000 or even 1999, that fund would be worth about $5,800 in 2001, right? The exact same scenario would be played true if you would have bought that same fund around, let's say, 2007, and by 2009, again, about 50% of the value of that got knocked out. So depending on the long term, is the S&P a great investment? Well, it keeps going up, and the reason why most people don't realize it, a lot of it is due to the purchasing power of your currency and how it gets destroyed over time. So inflation brings a lot of things up. Are there times that you can just hit a home run, like the beginning of the dot-com bubble, and you buy a fund through a 401k or an IRA, and you just knock it out of the park, you're making 100%? Absolutely you can. But what's the likelihood of you holding on and then holding on through the gains and then selling at the top before it comes crashing down, like the dot-com bubble? So it's very important that when you get into these type of vehicles, you're doing it for a specific purpose. One being that you don't need the money right away, right? Because there's penalties along these. Our government has built a really neat way of slavery when it comes to the monetary system, is that you put money in, but if you want to take it out early before you're eligible for retirement, you get fined, you get penalized 10%, plus you're going to pay tax on top of that of short or long-term capital gains. Again, this is not I'm not a CPA. You always want to talk to a CPA CPA about this, but this is their number one way. Just feed the machine, keep putting money into the machine, and you'll get some tax benefits, a little bit salted on top. It will just save some money. Now, I believe that every dollar saved is a dollar earned, quite frankly. If you have the ability to spend $10 somewhere and you go, wait a minute, if I do it this way or that way, it's only gonna cost me five. That's like, even though you didn't have to spend the extra five, it's like putting $5 in your pocket, right? I do believe this, but this is their number one way, and I would be cautious because our stock market goes through pretty significant cycles. And right now, we have not seen a big downturn since 2018, when we saw about 21% shaved off of the Dow Jones from the period of October 1st to I think it was like Christmas Eve of 2018. And before that, we saw the big downturn in the Dow Jones during the Great Recession, and obviously the dot-com. So these obvious points where the stock market indexes get hit really bad. And so I personally am not putting a ton of money into stocks in my portfolio. And I would definitely not want to put and lock my money up for that long of a term just for the ability to save a little bit of money on taxes right now. I'd look for better tax hedges, okay? But that's just me. I'm not a professional. Let's dive into number two. Investing in the stock market. Well, this is exactly like 401ks, but you don't get the tax benefit. However, when you just dive into stocks, you have the ability to sell whenever you want. You could sell if it doubles tomorrow. You could sell if it crashes by half tomorrow. You have more freedom, but you don't have the tax benefit, right? So that's what Yahoo's saying. Invest in the stock market. You're going to get rich. Well, by and large, a lot of people don't get wealthy. As a matter of fact, the truth is the elite of this world, the people that are like the top, 1/10 of 1%, the people that, billionaires and people that are worth centimillions, 100 million and more, they actually became wealthy by and large, not through real estate, but actually by starting companies that went public. And when you start with a company and your shares are worth a penny and you build that company up and then you finally go public and you sell a bunch of shares to the public, you're selling those shares at multiples, sometimes $1, $10. You never know. And that's how most of the wealthiest people in this country got wealthy, was by publicly traded companies. That is where you see 9 out of 10 billionaires have become very wealthy, right? Starting a company that finally eventually went public. So what I say to people is that you never put too much in the stock market. You want even bags of money, right? And this, again, not financial advice. It's just life advice. You want to be diversified. If you want a bag of stocks, cool. If you want a bag of crypto, cool. If you want a bag of real estate, cool. And you want to keep those even. That is one trend that is obvious throughout all extremely wealthy people, is they're very, very diversified. Even Warren Buffett pretty much has, his portfolio with Berkshire Hathaway set up into like 6 different bags. You have real estate, you've got banks, you've got, ag, you've got transportation, and he separates those bags because he not always do all of those bags go up at once. Okay, so when it comes to investing in the stock market, make sure that you're not doing it. The other thing that's going to kill people in the stock market is leverage. Margin. Buying on margin is extremely dangerous. Now, I have been an options trader. I have bought on margin. I have lost my butt, and I've also made a lot of money. All right. But the fact is, if you're not trained well, you don't want to dive right in. So it's always good to have practice accounts. There's tons of apps out there that will let you play markets, and it is play. This is gambling, right? Because you could have great fundamentals and a bad bit of news come out and smash the stock. Naked short selling, all kinds of things. Technology has made it to where even small investment brokerages can play with the big boys if they put enough money into the information that they get, if you know what I mean. And most people don't understand that. They don't know the difference between level 1 and 2 trading, where you can see order books and how big buys and sells are, how they're stacking up, heat maps and things like that. And the truth is, really the odds are stacked against you, because when you have a brokerage, let's say a normal brokerage like TD Ameritrade or any of these companies, to get level 2 trading is very difficult. So you are just gambling with whatever the buy and sell is, and most people don't understand how that works. So just be very cautious. Now, I don't want this to be a pessimistic video at all, but I think that most people, the reason why 99% of people rush into an investment of any kind is because they truly believe that they're going to double, triple, or quadruple their money. And that is very, very seldomly the case. Now, I will tell you from experience, I have bought an asset for 3 cents and I sold it for $80. That is a true story. And it was amazing. But Here's the thing. I didn't sell it all at 80. I sold just a little bit. And I sold more as it was coming down and things like that. And it came crashing down to where it sits now. Guess where it's at? 3 cents. That was a multi-year project, and it was extremely hard to go through personally. I always used to tell people it's actually harder when you're making a ton of money than it's more stressful than when you're losing money. I know it sounds hard to believe, but most people actually believe that they're going to win, and when they win big, the stress and the pressure on bringing in those kind of gains actually is a lot of pressure. So you're probably not going to hear that anywhere, but it is the truth. And type 1 down below if you know what I'm talking about. All right, so we've gone through IRAs, 401ks, and investing in the stock market. What else does Yahoo say about how to become rich without investing in real estate? Well, acquiring new skills. It says investing money back into yourself is a valuable and effective way to grow your wealth over time. When you focus on your own personal development, education, and self-improvement, the returns can be huge. Let me tell you something that is 100% truth, and very few people understand exactly what this is, but type 2 if you agree with this. When you buy a book, or let's put it this way, type 2 if you agree, you're more likely to read a book that you pay for than a book that you borrow. Type 3 if you disagree with that. But I have seen this to be true so many times. When I take my hard-earned money and I buy a book, a self-improvement book, I am way more likely to read it and finish it than one that I borrowed. As a matter of fact, I've loaned books out to try and encourage people, only to find them either lose it or never read it in the first place, and then finally give it back to me all crinkled and messed up. I take these things very seriously because, and that's why I take care of the books. I don't have anyone around me right now, but I take care of my books because inside there is amazing knowledge. And the other thing that I have found is that when you pay for a program, a course, a book, or self-development at all, I'm always looking for just one nugget. That's all. I only need to identify one thing that is going to make me act different, think different, or make money. And then all I need to do is replicate that thought or that experience or that knowledge over and over for the rest of my life. And then that will be compounding interest, compounding wealth. But most people approach everything as a get rich quick scheme. I'm going to spend 10 bucks on a book and tomorrow I'm going to be wealthy. Well, the truth is, and type 4 if you agree with this, making wealth, building wealth and making money is extremely hard work. It's very rewarding, but it is very hard work. There is no get rich quick scheme at all. Even with my courses that I sell, like I put links down below to the 80% off the side hustle course, how to start a side hustle course. It's hard work. But after a while, like, my first side hustle was a baseball card shop. Actually, it was selling candy as a junior higher in junior high school. You can see why I look the way I do. But the truth is, I was making $40 a day in sixth grade in 1984 or 85. I moved on to a baseball card shop. After that, I had, an electric train. I used to sell electric trains. I bought them at garage sales, sold them. I ended up buying my first house. I've had side hustles out of my backyard selling palm trees and tractors, making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And it all started from something small. But it takes steps. And the thing is from each side hustle to each side hustle, what happens is you build two things. You build knowledge and you build confidence. The more knowledge you have, the more confidence you have. The other thing is once you have that knowledge and confidence, there's nothing that can stop you. The only thing that can stop you is you, unless you believe all your family and friends that think you're not worth it. Don't believe those people. So acquiring new skills is very, very vital. And right now, there's never been better opportunities just to type in YouTube and watch videos for free, or go pay a guru that's really into something that you're into and very successful, and learn those tiny tips and tricks. It blows me away whenever I've spent time with people that are very successful in a field that I want to be successful in, and I'm grinding and I'm trying and I'm just hitting my head up against the wall, and I'll pay for their time. And I sit there and they'll turn around and go, wait a minute, how do you do this? And I tell them, they go, no, do it this way, this way, this way. And I listen to them and boom, money is flowing. It's easier. I have more time. So do not discount consultants. Do not discount the amount of time and heartache that you can save by paying someone that is crushing it in the field that you want to crush it in, okay? But first, before you get to that level and spending money like that, read books, get free information off the internet, go watch YouTube videos. But then when you hit a certain level and you're hitting that resistance, go and pay for the knowledge. It will blow your mind how fast you will get new skills. Now, next, what they talked about is tackling debt. Now, I believe this is so very important, and 99.9% of the population has no concept of how important this is. First off, when you don't have debt, you don't have something weighing on your mind. Now, many of you may think that, no, my debt's not weighing on my mind. It's easily managed. I've got a few $100s in the bank. I've got, 5 different debts, whether it be my car, rent, or my house payment, certain debts, right? Credit card bill, things like that. And I make enough to where I could save a few bucks and pay my debts. I'm okay. And I've got a little nest egg. Well, here's the thing. You don't know how important it is and how much your mind is focused on your debt because you are forced to go into work, a job that you may not like. You are forced to work overtime. You are forced to make sure that you have enough to pay those bills and still save a little bit. You don't know how much of your mind is being taken right now until you're out of debt. Type 8 below if you're out of debt and you understand what I'm talking about and you agree. And give people encouragement because getting out of debt is first and foremost the fundamental of success. Now, when I talk about debt and being out of debt, I'm not talking about being out of all debt. Once you're out of debt and you understand how important it is, then you start companies and you start your investing ventures in proper legal entities like LLCs, C Corps, S filings, S corps, things like that. Now, I'm not a financial advisor again, and I'm not an attorney, CPA. You want to go and talk to the pros, but I have had a lot of corporations and entities in my lifetime. I do currently have a lot of them. And the reason why I know this is because I want to take the liability off of me. And in those entities, I take on debt. I manage the company and I manage the debt that the company's running, but the company is actually taking out the debt. It's not tied to my social security number. It's tied to an EIN or a TIN. Point being is this: when you start to get out of debt, your mind opens up and it will be able to be filled with so much more than you have right now. And that is why it's so vital that you're out of debt, especially as we come into one of the greatest economic collapses in our lifetime. Matter of fact, it will be the worst. And this is why it's so important, is because when you're out of debt or you lower your debt amount, you have a good credit score and you start the right legal entities and start businesses getting ready to crush it, you are going to take advantage of those that weren't prepared. All right. All right. So number, 5, the last one. Now, it blows me away that Yahoo writes stuff like this because it's so it's crazy, but I'm going to read it and I'm going to add my spin on it. The number 5 way Yahoo says to get rich without buying real estate is increase your income. That's got to be the dumbest phrase ever, but is it? Here's the thing. This is what they say. Another significant way to become richer is by boosting your earning potential. You can do this. Thank you, Shell, for the super chat. You can do this either by asking for a raise at your current job or seeking out higher paying positions. All right, that sounds great, right? Here's the problem. As you're an employee and you're in that side of the arena and you're getting a paycheck, you are paying a lot in taxes. As a matter of fact, when you're looking for more pay, you're just getting into higher brackets. You don't have the proper legal tax loopholes to be able to cut that back. And that's what a side hustle is so vital for, a business. So many people are so afraid of starting businesses because it just seems daunting, employees and all stuff. You don't have to be like that. All you have to do is start with $1 and go to a garage sale and turn it into $2 and then turn it into 4 and turn it into 6. And after a while, it starts to cascade. And then you take your money, you put it here and you put it there. That's what I teach, starting from the basics. And you may be watching this video and you're not at the basics. You already have a side hustle. It's making $100,000, $200,000. You may have 5 or 6 employees. And there's still things that you can do to prepare for this next crash and how to build your business even stronger. And that is why it's so very vital that everyone does start at the beginning. Because a wise man told me once that as you become successful and become more wealthy, if you choose to forget, and it is a choice, where you came from, how hard it took to get where you are, where you came from, if you forget that, you will forget where you're going and you will lose everything. And it's very important that people understand that. So as Yahoo says, oh, you want to get rich? Just make more money. Yeah, that's about the dumbest phrase ever. You have to add some context to that. Sure, it's one thing to go to your boss and say, hey, can I have $5 raise? Even if he or she gives it to you, how much of that is being taken by the government? How much now are you expected to work harder or more hours for that, right? There's always a give and take. So what I encourage people to do is look for different sources of income. And just so you know, again, there's no get rich quick. That whole cash flow, I want passive income. There's no such thing as passive. every income stream that you build, you will have to nurture and watch after so that it doesn't go away or lose momentum. Every single stream of income takes some sort of nurturing, whether it be a lot of attention you need to throw out it or a little bit. It's very important that people pay attention to their cash flow. And that's why, again, just like with the stock basket, you want, or different investments, you want these different baskets of investments. You want to be diversified there. Why wouldn't you also want to be diversified in your income? Don't look at what Yahoo says and just go, oh, I'm just going to ask my boss for more money. Look for different streams of money and for cash flow, because that is extremely valuable. Look, I'm going to put the links down to the discount links, 80% off. Right now, there's a handful of links for $199 for the how to start a side hustle. You don't have to buy it. And everyone's at different levels, right? But this course does take people from starting a garage sale to starting a corporation. And I've already met people on the road that have made over $50,000 from taking this, or they have a business where they got one nugget of information and it set them off and maybe made an extra 6 figures. And that's exciting because it's all about the small nuggets, but it's all about you. Regardless if you buy that class or not, the most important thing is start diving into you, invest in you. Watch free content, buy books, buy classes, go find mentors and gurus and spend the money. But you have to do it in a certain order when you're ready to do it. Because honestly, no one can motivate you but you. All right, everybody, with that being said, I thank you so much for watching. The Economic Ninja is out.